We had a technical difficulty. Sorry about that. Okay, we're back. So the members felt like, um, that Hunter is paying attention to these two new members, which is not totally the case. Um, but they're a little bit jealous for some reason, more so Jared and um, I think even Cameron and some other people are a little bit jealous. Brendan more so Christopher came. Um, so but the members are jealous and are not accepting the fact as the two members, and this is driving Hunter crazy, and he's already been driven crazy the last couple of weeks with these members. Uh, so he's just getting his patience is running thin with these members. So, but let's get to it. So this episode starts out like all the episodes. Goes to Breakfast Club, eats breakfast, hangs out with his skills coach Erica and his friends, um, and he eats his breakfast. Then he goes to the first period in language arts. He does that. The same old reading, pre-algebra. He struggles, we all do, but he gets through it. And then he goes to lunch. He has his Brotherhood members and Brotherhood members, Brotherhood meeting. And this is where the tea gets in. This is where the drama gets in. Okay. So, um, they basically chat and talk about life and talk about video games, I guess, and mobile games, and I think they you know and then laugh and watch YouTube and stuff, but normal fun stuff, and eat their lunch and chat about classes and everything, blah blah blah, you know what the barhead usually does. But this time the barhead is kind of complaining a little bit about the two new members again, and it's not just Jared, it's not just Keeman, but it's Nick and John and a couple people. And it's driving Hunter crazy. He tells them to stop, and that this is not a battle. These members are staying, if you like it or not. Um, and that Hunter has every right to expand his empire, his warhead. So it's his warhead, it's his fun group. Hayden's not the leader no more, and he had his guidelines, he did things his way, but this is Hunter's way. This is his fun group. He's the leader of this group. So, but he's getting frustrated with the drama, the complaining. And Hunter literally says um, that this is a battle of the bird. It feels like this is a bird, I mean, a battle. And the current Barhead members, you know, can't mean Nick and John and Adam, Bradley, Quentin, Dustin. Um, Jared, especially Jared Cameron, has been crazy the last couple days and weeks at this month with this group. But he feels like it's really a battle to have this bird, to have this fun group organized and everything. And as the leader, that is a battle of him, the current brothers of the Burhead, and the two new ones. It's driving Hunter crazy, and he don't know what to do. Well, he thinks of some things and he comes up with something, which I'll tell you here in a little bit. Then he goes to the study hall, and then he goes to science and does that. Um, and then um, he goes to um, higher, and then he goes over to back to the middle school to do chaotic civics. Okay, and then and Christopher K is in this class. And in the hallway, while before they go into civics, Hunter says to Chris, "This is the thing that he came up with. You're not. I unfortunately have to kick you out because the other members are driving me crazy about you being jealous. Now, here's my plan. you will still be a Brotherhood member and a second Brotherhood that Hunter is going to eventually create, which I'll talk about later in a different Marathon Madness. But you're going to be a member secretly, but you're not going to be on the pyramid, and you'll be in another member of another of the second book empire that Hunter is going to create. So we'll see what that is in a future episode. But and Chris is with a K says I don't care, oh well. And they're still friends, there's no drama. But but um and they do civics, they do that, it's crazy. Um and then they go to resource and Erica and Jennifer and Kayla Hunter get help with math, with pre-algebra. Um, and they get done and they move on, and that's it. So now I'm going to talk about um, now I'm going to talk about season one, episode 50. So we're going back a little bit. Soapy Situation. So this is a fun one. This is a silly one. Okay, so he heads to Breakfast Club. He does this. He does that. First period, second period, third period, Brotherhood meeting and lunch, study hall, science. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So in this class, they do projects, make, things with hot glue or glue or some, uh, maybe it's marker and, maybe whatever, Sharpie. Um, so in this period today in science, during this science period, I think they're doing some type of project, and I can't totally recall, but you'll see it in the clip here that's getting ready to play. But they are assigned to do this assignment, this project. I think there's glue in it, so they're gluing as like they're making some type of like like a diagram or something, a visual chart. I think that's what they're doing. But anyway, they have to write with marker. So and they have and him and Jared and Brendan that's in this class and some other friends of his that are in the Brotherhood or whatever, you know. Um, so um, and they're having fun. They're goofing around a little bit, but they get to work. They are still doing work, and but Hunter gets a whole bunch of like glue from the project onto his hands. Oh my gosh. And I think marker and stuff too. Oh my gosh. You know, you know, kids, with art projects or any project or markers and crayons and paint is a mess. But Hunter, uh, I think maybe they were even painting. I don't know. I don't remember what. But he got something. I mean, he got glue or paint or something or both or mark or something on his arms, probably all the way down to his elbow. Oh my God. He had to go to the bathroom and he had to get soap. And he had to get a bunch to get it off, but when he put it under the dispenser, this dispenser had a malfunction and you need lots of soap. But he got way too much soap out of the dispenser. And it went all over his hands. It went all over probably on his shirt and maybe on his legs. It was a soapy situation, really. But and this was a fun episode for me personally to film. Oh my God. But it was, and he had to get paper towels and everything and wipe it all up, and it took him 5 to 10. He would. It was a situation, soapy situation. It was funny, but there's that. And then he finishes the class period. project gets done, that activity gets done, and then he goes to choir, and then civic, and then play algebra, resource, whatever. And then the day is done. So that's it. So thank you all for watching tonight's episode of Marathon Madness, and I'll see you tomorrow night for another episode of Sound John Bot Marathon Madness. Have a great evening, and God bless you all. Bye.